Dr. Susan Juguna. I am the Dean, School of Nursing at Daystar University. I have been at Daystar since the start of the program in 2010, from when we had the 4 students to the current number of students that we have. The nursing program has grown, and I'm really, really grateful to God that, that our students have continued to market us. And we have continued to see the numbers rise. In the School of Nursing, we currently are 4 faculty, full-time faculty, and the university is in the process of recruiting some more faculty because of the increasing student numbers. Thank you for having me here.
Just share the importance of nursing in Kenya. And I've heard people say that nursing is more important in Kenya than it is probably in the US because of fewer doctors. Is that true?
Yes, that's true. In Kenya, the Kenyan health system is organized in 4 levels or tiers, if you like. So the first level that the patient comes in contact with a healthcare institution is at the health center level. And at this level, the person they are likely to get attention from is a nurse. So at this level, you have 75% of the health workers being nurses. And the nurse will do the clinical work. The nurse will be able to carry out the diagnosis and only refer that which they are not able to the next level. So in all the health facilities that we have in Kenya, the healthcare provider that is known is the nurse. And this is because the doctors are few. And so the doctors are concentrated much more in the towns and the bigger hospitals, where they may then, contribute by giving specialized healthcare. So the nurse becomes the go-to person. You'll find the nurse in the health centers. You'll find them sometimes in the absence of clinicians, the clinical officers, the nurse will see the patients. And we see this all the time. And of course, with the global shortage of nurses, we never seem to just have enough, especially in Kenya. And then again, we are now talking about the universal health coverage. And this concept is also bringing in more health centers, more health facilities being built. That means there's need for more nurses. And so we have our nurses at the grassroots in contact with the patient, and we still have them at the specialist hospitals and in other facilities that require healthcare. So nursing is here, and we will need it for a long time.
How is Daystar's program different than other programs in Kenya?
The Daystar Nursing Program is founded on a Christian foundation. The Daystar University Nursing Program is among the very few Christian university programs at the same level, and the only one, it's the only one after, on your way down to the coast, the Kenyan coast, so to say, the only Christian university that we have. Its foundation in the liberal arts has given us an edge. So we have the liberal arts with a Christian foundation, but we also live the ethos. We have endeavored to live the ethos of transformation, excellence, and servant leadership as we work with the students in the hospital settings. So the faculty, though this may seem like it's stretchy, has gone out and worked with the student in the hospitals to show them how we bring about transformation, how we work excellently, and how we serve as servant leaders. So in the clinical setting, the student and I take care and we practice this. So that has given us a very different product from what is on the market. A nurse who is able to get to the level of the patient, but remember that they are Christians. Or coming from a Christian, a faith-based institution, which really wants them to get hands-on. We talk about patient-centered care. And really that has given us an edge. And probably that's what has also caused our students, our graduates, to get jobs out there without staying out for long. They actually get employed very quickly. And so, yes, our program is different because of the faith base, because of the liberal arts, and the lived experience of the student where they work with the faculty.
Could you tell us a little bit about the equipment, the skills lab? Tell us about what the skills lab, we have one already. Why do you need a second one? And just if you could just share a little bit about that.
Okay. When the nursing program started, the vision was to have a class of 30 students. And so the skills lab that we are talking about, is in Nairobi campus. So the nursing school started in Nairobi campus, and it's on a floor. And we've got a skills lab that can accommodate 30 students, with 5 students per patient bed, so to say. Now, as the student numbers have grown, and they have grown at a rate beyond our imagination, we currently, from in August 2020, we admitted 150 students. Now, we had asked for 40 students. That was our vision. But when government sends you students, you cannot return them. So what happened in this circumstance, how we got to 158, is that we were the one nursing program that was going on during the COVID season. So the students who are in the community interacted with a lot of the students who eventually came in, and they marketed the program. So these first-year students went and changed from the universities where they had been admitted to come to Daystar. And because they were government-sponsored students, Daystar being a private institution cannot say we will not take the students. So we've ended up with 150 students all of a sudden. Now, that puts a strain on the Nairobi campus. This Nairobi campus that could accommodate only 30 students. So we have now moved the new admissions to Athi River campus where there is much more space. So this is a good problem. And the good problem is we need a facility, we need skills labs that can accommodate more than 30 students. So if we had 2 more skills labs, we had 2 more skills labs that can accommodate more than, let's talk about more than 50 students at a go, that would help us to maintain our quality of teaching and learning and interaction with the students. So we need a facility, we need a building, but we also need the equipment to go with it. And so the equipment that we are, praying and believing God to get would just help us to set up skills lab in Athi River campus that would help us maintain quality and also, just help us to be more efficient. As it is right now, without this facility, and until we get this facility, we will need to transport 50 students to Nairobi to use this skills lab, which means that for 3 days, we will have a batch of students go to Nairobi, use the skills lab, then have another batch the next day. And so with the skills lab and the equipment in Athi River campus, we don't need to transport the students throughout the semester. So it's really, really important that we have the equipment for the skills lab.
And I think too, maybe you want to just clarify, when we say transport, you mean from the Athi River campus to the Nairobi campus to utilize that nursing skills lab.
Yes, that one nursing skills lab.
But maybe for those who haven't been to Kenya recently, you just want to let them know how long that between the 2 campuses is about 40 miles or so, something like that, or 30 some miles. But how long is it taking right now with the current road construction?
So there's a construction of Mombasa Road that you must go through to get from Athi River to Nairobi, and it can take you 3 hours or more.
Yeah, the vice chancellor told me it was he spent 4 hours not recently. So that's also part of it is just the difficulty of the roads right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it will take you so much longer. It means that on those, say, if we have schedule it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, the students must leave Athi River by 4 a.m. to
4
make
a.m.
it for a class. Yes, to make it for a class at 8 in the morning.
Wow.
Yeah. And then stay on the whole day in class so that we utilize the skills lab and then get back, much later, take another 3-4 hours to get back to Athi River.
Wow. Tell me, what exactly, how does the skills lab work? What is it? Where does it fit in the student's academic program?
The skills lab is a necessary part of the nursing, of any nursing school. It is from here that you teach the students all the skills that they would need to practice in nursing, in an environment where they are allowed to make mistakes on the dummies, on the mannequins, before they go to the real patient. So here it's a safe environment. So the student learns and gains mastery in as far as performance of the skills is concerned, so that when they now go to the patient, they are not starting to inject, the live patient before they have injected the mannequin. So you actually walk them through the gaining of the skills that they require in the hospital setting. So later on, we sometimes have to bring a student back from the hospital setting if we realize that they haven't gained the manual dexterity that they need, so that they come and practice a little more before they continue with their skills. So it's a safe environment for the practice of nursing skills.
Thank you. Let me ask, how did you stay open during COVID? You said they were the only nursing school open in Kenya during COVID.
Yes, we stayed open during COVID because the university had an e-learning platform. So what we did was that immediately the vice chancellor, called a Senate meeting, and the university was to revert to online teaching and learning. We got all our students to take courses. So we continued with the online teaching and learning throughout the year 2020. Now that helped us to gain mileage. So our students didn't lose time. So they gained, they were able to continue with their theory classes. And when we opened in January for the health training programs, we now went to the skills lab and started, continued with the skills before they now were able to go to the hospitals. So our students haven't lost time because of COVID, and we are really, really grateful. And probably that will give us another floodgate this August, because they see that they have completed their school time within the required period of time. Yeah, while their colleagues in other universities are still at third year.
So any jobs available, they'll be the first ones to.
Yes, they'll be the first ones to get the jobs.
Wow. How many hospitals are the students? They do it's a rotation during their 4 years?
Yes, during the 4 years, they do a rotation. So we've organized a program in such a way that every experience, every theory session is followed by, we call it a clinical experience. So that they are integrating what they have learned for a semester actually. So they will, right now we have a memorandum of understanding with about 7 hospitals. So we will have students at different levels of their training in the 7 hospitals. And while they're there, faculty work with them, besides the support we get from the hospital. So it also helps faculty to just keep on top of their skills and keep updated on what is happening on the ground. Yes, so we have like 7 hospitals. Some hospitals may, and we are still looking for new memorandum of understanding. Now that we have moved to Athi River, we are looking for hospitals in that direction so that we don't get into the traffic. So next week, the Kezia, our head of department, will be going over to Machakos to see whether we can now be able to use Machakos County hospitals so that the students don't have to go very, very far, and they can be brought back to Athi River campus.
That would be about, is that a half an hour drive?
Yes, that would be like half an hour drive, and it would really be convenient.
Yeah. Let me ask you, the numbers that I've been hearing for the growth are large, because it is doubled twice, right? If you
Yes.
project, getting the number you may get this fall, maybe first, what is the number you're projecting this fall or August?
I learned today that we already have 80 government-sponsored students signed up to come in, and about 50 privately sponsored students who, for whom, again, I believe this is God working it out differently. One of the schools that had started a program has just closed.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it started a program, so it just closed. So at the start of June, I got a number of phone calls from the students who had enrolled in that school asking to come. So I'm told that we probably have about 50
from
privately sponsored. Yes.
Wow.
And they may be from that school. So again, yeah. So already we could be talking about 130 right now.
And you currently have just over 300 students?
We have 327.
327.
Mm-hmm.
How much, what kind, is that growth, that large growth sustainable long-term?
Long-term, yes, it is sustainable if we are on Athi River campus.
Because you have this.
And if we are on Athi River campus, we are able to grow. And if we have the facilities in place. Now, we are also thinking about, we're just in the process of of seeking approval for a Master in Nursing Education program. And we're looking at it that once this one program rolls out, we would have the graduate students help in teaching some of the units. So then that way, we are actually working with our own, and we should be able to grow in a more steady way, but with facilities in Athi River campus.
So facilities in both campus would allow you to, or having your major growth in the traditional undergraduate out at Athi.
Yes, so that the traditional undergraduate is in Athi, while the Nairobi campus gives us the graduate students who can be part of this program and part of our mentorship to them, so that we are talking of a culture. Yes. And hopefully just be able to absorb our own students back, our best students back.
As faculty?
Yeah. As faculty or teaching assistants.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, to help us in the very many clinical settings. Yeah. Thank you very much, friends of Daystar and friends of nursing. You have just done very many things, and it's only the Lord who will bless you. I really appreciate every piece of equipment that you've contributed to make available for us. I can assure you we are taking good care of it, and we shall continue so that we can grow the program to the glory of God. Thank you very much.